Yo, what's up, vinyl community and everybody out there in YouTube land? It is Kendall Stokes coming at you with another video for the Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem YouTube channel. It's Sunday, the day after Record Store Day, and I'm like, alright, it's time to make a video. So here we go. I want to say, first and foremost, I hope everybody has had a great weekend. My weekend has been awesome because I had a great and fun time doing what I always do for Record Store Day, hanging out with tons of awesome people. Want to say first thank you to the good people of Record Bar in Wilmington, North Carolina. Tony, Donna, Mel, Michelle, Lauren, Doug, all of you guys out there at the Record Bar, thank you so much for always letting us come out there and raid your store and your parking lot. We always have a blast. Thank you for putting on Record Store Day for us. We always have so much fun out there. You don't have to, but you do, and we appreciate it. I want to say thank you to all my friends out there that I get to hang out with the day before and the day of. Chad Hovis, always great seeing you, buddy. Always fun hanging out with you. Jerry Stone, Melissa, David Willett, all you guys. This time, my best friend for almost 30 years, Adam Preston, came out there with me. We drove out there. He'd been to a Black Friday Record Store Day in the past, but this one was a lot different because Chad was there, and Chad brought the party. He brought a 70-inch TV. He brought the grill out. He brought the tent and everything. We had the news out there. Chad was on the news. We partied like never before. It was so much fun. We were out there all day Friday, and we just hung out, talking music, watching movies, watching concerts, all kinds of stuff. Total blast. Can't wait to do it again. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But as it always does, all good things must come to an end. So at the end of the day, at the end of the actual work day on Saturday, in the morning, we go in, we buy our records, and then we say our goodbyes, of course. But figured I would go through, show you what I got. Oh, gotta grab one more record to show before I forget. But like I said, just a total blast. When it was all said and done, before the store opened, there were over 100 people in line. Tony had ended up getting the stock for Taylor Swift. He had over 140 Taylor Swift records. He was prepared, and like I said, there were 100 people in line, and I would say over 90 of them were probably in line for Taylor Swift. And guilty as charged. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Yes, I did buy the Taylor Swift record. Not for myself, as all of you know. I have young daughters. I have two older stepdaughters from my wife's previous marriage. They are my daughters, though. I go ahead and say that. And then I have a 5-year-old. They're all Swifties. And so I had to get this. Actually ended up with two at the end of the day. One for the 16-year-old, and this was for Sarah, my 5-year-old. You've all seen Sarah before on videos. I ended up getting this one later, but this was for her very own first Taylor Swift record, and it was the RSD. She was so excited. I asked her, do you want to start collecting your own Taylor Swift records? And she said yes, so we're going to start doing that. She already has a Disney record, so that's going to add to the list, and we're going to start getting her own Taylor Swift records. So, even saying that now still kind of gets me, so, but like a good dad, I'm gonna bear through it. Anyway, so I did get the Taylor Swift. The Taylor Swift was rocking, as always. Taylor Swift brings out the Record Store Day people, that's for sure. But anyway, also besides the Record Store Day titles, they did have records for 20% off, all other stuff, so that was great. So I did pick up some other goodies as well. I will show that intermittent. So, you know, I had another video where I talked about the list and what was on my list, and throughout the weeks, my list kind of changed a little bit. And the first title I'm going to show you did not end up on my list, but ended up being something I brought home. And that was this, Eddie Money, The Covers. I'm a huge Eddie Money fan, and this was made up of 2 EPs that he had released of just covers, and I listened to it, I streamed it, and they were just fun covers. I mean, we had covers of a couple Beatles tracks, She Came Into the Bathroom Window and Ticket to Ride, but what really got me was his cover of When I Come Around by Green Day. Not something you'd expect, but like just really fun, like, because it's not your typical punk song cover. It starts off acoustic, first verse and chorus, and then goes into more of a rock sound. Just a really good cover. Reach Out, I'll Be There is on here. Spencer Davis Group, Give Me Some Lovin'. Drops of Jupiter is a little interesting. Probably my least favorite on here, but still good. But yeah, just, you know, like I said, I like Eddie Money. He never had the greatest voice, but he was just an all-around cool guy and knew how to perform. And so I was really excited to pick this one up. Just a fun album, and I thought it'd be a fun one to have. So I picked this one up. It was one of the cheaper ones to pick up. There's 8 songs on here, so fun one to pick up. This one was, however, on my list, and so I stayed true. This was Muddy Waters live at the Blues Summit, or Hollywood Blues Summit, live at the Ash Grove, July 30th, 1971. This had never been before released, and so I was really looking forward to this one. It's got Pee Wee, Madison, Calvin Fuzz Jones, Willie Big Eyes Smith, Sammy Lawson, Paul, Oscar, Pintop Perkins, and Shaky Horton on it. Some really awesome tracks are on this one. This was a record store day first, so it will be released again from what I hear. But some great tracks on this. I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man, Honey Bee, Walking Through the Park, Got My Mojo Working. I'm a huge Muddy Waters fan. There was another Muddy Waters release, the Woodstock album. I passed on that one because it was also a record store day first. And it will be released later, and I just didn't want to spend the money on all Muddy Waters blues albums, so I figured I'd pass on that one and pick it up when it gets released later. So I did pass on that one because it was on my list, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to get other stuff. So but this one's awesome. Very happy to get this one. Another one that I picked up that wasn't originally on my list, but after doing more research on it and hearing other people's videos discuss it, Steve Carlson mentioned it in his video, and Tony at the Record Bar had talked about it as well. And like I said, I had done research on it and I streamed it. Is this one here, the Marble Frog. So this record right here, if you don't know anything about it, this came out in, I believe, 1968. This was a band out of Oklahoma. They weren't on a big label or anything like that. Matter of fact, it was an independent thing they put out themselves. As the story goes, they only pressed 250 records. You know, the way these stories are, is it true? That number could be exaggerated. They could have pressed less. They could have pressed more. Don't really know. But you know, these guys were kind of acid, psychedelic rock, stoner rock, and the tracks on here, they're 12 tracks. 10 of them are covers. You know, from Jimi Hendrix to Steppenwolf to Cream to Donovan to the Rolling Stones. Some great tracks are on here. Just a really fun album. It came out on this really cool looking green kind of splatter. I don't know if you can see that real well. Splatter vinyl. I've already listened to it. It sounds pretty good. Like I said, I streamed it beforehand as well, but the vinyl came out really good. Like I said, this was just kind of a fun one to add to the collection because trying to find an original of this, you know, pretty much next to impossible, just because of the region, and then also, you know, if you were probably to find one, odds of it being in good shape, probably again next to impossible. But very cool record. They only pressed 1,500 of these for Record Store Day, and it was an exclusive, so you know, you missed out basically. So very excited to add this one. This one wasn't very expensive either, so pretty cool. This one here wasn't on my list to begin with either, but I don't know how I missed it on the list to begin with. And then I was watching, what was I watching? Man. Oh, I was watching Melinda Murphy's channel, and she brought this one up, and I was like, geez, why did I miss that one? And it is the Strawberry Alarm Clock, Incense and Peppermints. This record right here, you know, finding originals of this, you can find them, but if you do, I guarantee you they're not clean or in good shape. You know, these guys, psychedelic acid flower power music from the 60s. They got really popular from Austin Powers actually used the title track, Incense and Peppermints. But I was actually looking up on Discogs. The cleanest copy for sale on Discogs is rated at VG Plus, and of course, what I think VG Plus is and what that person thinks VG Plus is could be two very separate things. So to get a near like a mint copy, you know, at this price, because you know this was like less than $25, you know, very nice, and it's really cool. It came on this pink vinyl, and it's the old UNI. That's in there real good. Old UNI label as well. Get this thing out here. That old UNI label. Really cool. They only pressed 3,000 of these. Now, as far as I know, it is a Record Store Day first. But of course, when they do release it again, it won't be on the pink. It'll be on black. Says on the back, it even says limited edition. Pressing of 3,000. I have copy 197, probably the lowest of anything I've ever gotten before, so that's kind of cool. But this is just a really awesome record to have, I think. Very psychedelic, very awesome. Cool to add this to the collection. And then the big one, the one that I was the most excited about, of course, is this hefty boy right here. The first official pressing of Van Halen right here, right now. It's a 4 LP set. It's on red vinyl. I haven't opened it yet, and the reason I haven't opened it yet is because I don't have a sleeve that will fit this right now. I had to order some sleeves for my box sets because I ran out, and so it's still in the shrink. But I've heard good reviews on it already, so I'm very excited about it. Very excited that Van Halen, the Van Hagar stuff is being reissued. Because I do have originals of OU812 and 5150, but to get a copy of For Unlawful Carnage and of Balance will be really nice whenever they finally do those. But this was the main one that I was going out for, so very excited to add this to the collection. But those were all the Record Store Day titles I did pick up. And then, like I said, they were having the 20% off sale, so I did pick up a couple for 20% off that I will show you right now. Bob Bradley showed this a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting to get it. But the John Lee Hooker Burnin' that Kraft put out, very excited to add this. Kraft has been doing amazing things lately, and so very excited to add this to the collection. It is on the red vinyl. I'm not going to pull it out, but it's on the red vinyl. You know, the tip-on jacket, like I said, Craft, what they've been doing, their pressings have been flawless. Everything's just been awesome, and I know this is going to sound amazing. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've been trying to get more into older blues, and John Lee Hooker, obviously I don't have any of him, and I figured this is a good one to start with. I've listened to the album before, obviously it's a great album, but to have this I'm very excited about. And at 20% off, I just couldn't pass up that deal. And then this is something that I think flew under the radar this past Friday, because it was a new release on Friday that came out, but because of Record Store Day, I think a lot of new releases for Friday kind of just flew under the radar. But this was also a Craft release that came out this Friday, or this past Friday, and it was Albert King's Born Under a Bad Sign. Again, Craft celebrating Albert King's centennial. I'm reading the hype sticker here. It says Albert King's legendary first album for Stax Records, featuring Booker T and the MGs and the Memphis Horns, included into the Grammys Hall of Fame, and included in Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time, all analog mastering from the original master tapes by Jeff Powell at Takeout Vinyl, pressed on 180 gram vinyl. It's on black vinyl, it's not colored or anything, but tip-on jacket, amazing condition. I can't wait to listen to it. But I don't know how many people knew this was even coming out. If you did, great. I hope you picked it up. I was excited about it. I've known about it for a few months now already, so I was excited to pick this one up. Again, I picked it up at 20% off, so very excited. If you don't know this album, where have you been? Living under a rock, I'm guessing. One of the best blues albums to come out. Just phenomenal. Albert King, amazing blues guitarist. Born Under a Bad Sign. You know, probably the first time I can recall saying that I knew of it was Cream's cover of it. I believe it was under, going brain dead. Wheels of Fire. Stevie Ray Vaughan's done a cover of it. Eric Clapton himself has just done a cover of it. I mean, it's been covered by so many people. As a matter of fact, Albert King's version of it is technically a cover, but Albert King's probably most known for doing it. But anyway, just a phenomenal album, though. In general, one that if you're a blues fan, you definitely need to add this album to your list or your collection. So yeah, pick this one up. Again, tip-on jacket, Craft recording, can't go wrong. So those are the two that I picked up that were non-Record Store Day releases. Anyway, that was my Record Store Day. Again, had a blast at the record bar, hanging out with great people, talking music, picking up great records. Had so much fun. Can't wait to do it again. Black Friday hopefully will be a blast. It'll be a while before we see a list for it. But, man, just so much fun. Great music, great fun, great records. This is what Record Day should be about. The fun, the music, and, just having a blast. But love to hear what you guys think about it. If you like what you saw, leave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. Leave me some comments, please. And I hope to hear from you guys. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Peace.